I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're doing good. In this video, I'm going to tell you what my top 5 fragrances from the House of Creed are. Stay tuned. If you're just getting into fragrances, you've probably already started to hear about the House of Creed. If you're well into your fragrances, then you will definitely know about the House of Creed and you'll probably own a few as well. I want to show you what my top 5 Creed fragrances are. Now, this also doubles as a video about my Creed collection because I do only actually own 5 full bottles of Creed. Creed's pricey, you know, so it's difficult to accumulate a lot of bottles. I do have samples of pretty much the whole of the line of Creed, certainly the more popular ones. So the purchases I've made, these 5 bottles that I own, are based on me smelling samples of the whole line and then purchasing the ones that I think are my favourites. There's no denying that Creed are a very expensive fragrance house. Some people will even say that they're overpriced. I just want to say that all the fragrances that I've bought in my collection, I haven't paid full retail for any of them. I've found various offers online, discount codes, bought partial bottles in Facebook groups, that kind of thing. So I've not paid full price. So perhaps that indicates that I also feel that full retail is a little bit overpriced. But I still love the house, so let's take a look at my choices. So I do just want to start with a quick honourable mention here, and the reason it is an honourable mention is it's one of my favourite Creed fragrances, but I don't yet have a bottle. I only wanted to include fragrances that I have bottles of to show you in this video. The fragrance I'm talking about, which I would love, and I think it will be my next purchase from Creed, is Royal Oud. It's just a very classy, sophisticated scent. It's not very oudy. It's got that refinement and that quality that you would associate with Creed, and it's not such a popular scent DNA either, in that you're not going to smell it on every street corner. So when you wear something like Royal Oud, you can feel different and unique and maybe even a little bit regal, and it has that special quality to it. So Royal Oud is a really good one that hopefully I will pick up soon. All right, let's start the list. My number 5 is the most popular Creed fragrance by far, if not even one of the most popular niche fragrances in the world. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's Aventus. As most of you will know, when Aventus was released in 2010, it was a bit of a game changer. Just had this lovely balance of pineapple, bergamot, birchwood, vanilla, ambergris. It's quality juice. I do think it is an excellent fragrance. It isn't higher up this list because I feel it's no longer the mark of quality that it once was. It's not as unique anymore, and this is partly due to a multitude of clones that we've had over the years, and also imitation fragrances like Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is very, very affordable. The people who are mainly buying the clones of Aventus and buying Club de Nuit Intense Man are people who are into fragrances. They know that these fragrances are cheaper versions of Aventus and they're buying them because of that. Now I think we have a bit more of a problem in that we have the fragrance from Mont Blanc, which is called Explorer. Now your regular, casual, high street shopper, someone who likes fragrances but isn't massively into them, can walk into any department store, smell that DNA and buy it for not very much. So it is very affordable. So now people are going into department stores, they're buying this fragrance because they like the smell of it, probably unaware that it smells anything like Creed Aventus, but it does smell very, very similar. It has its differences, but in the air, they do smell very similar. So Mont Blanc Explorer has put this style of DNA into the mainstream. It's flushed it now into the mainstream. It's a very popular fragrance. People who really enjoy Aventus and know Aventus are really enjoying Explorer, me included. I do prefer Aventus. When you consider the price difference between Aventus and Explorer, Explorer is just great value and it is a great scent. So my relationship with Aventus has become slightly clouded because of the clones, because it's now been flushed into the mainstream. I do think it's a great scent, it's an excellent scent, and we have to remember that this was the OG. This came out in 2010 and changed the game for a lot of people. It was a real milestone fragrance. I'm really glad to have this in my collection, and on the odd occasion that I do wear Aventus, I still really enjoy it. The next one is a less popular Creed fragrance, and it isn't for everyone. I think this is one that you do have to sample, but those who do get on with this DNA really enjoy it. It was originally called Windsor, as Creed made this personally for the Duke of Windsor years ago, and it has since been reformulated and now sells under the name of Royal Mayfair. So I have had the opportunity to smell the original Windsor, and I've compared these two side by side. Shout out to Dan, who has a great Instagram account called The Fragrance Weirdo. Do go and follow him on Instagram. He very kindly sent me a sample of a small amount of Windsor that he has, which he holds for special occasions. I will actually say that I think I do slightly prefer the more modern formulation off my skin. It seemed to be a bit more noticeable and project, whereas the original Windsors just seem to stay a little closer to my skin. So I do prefer this more modern formulation, but the original Windsor is still a beautiful fragrance. So I really like this because it's interesting and unique. It's a DNA that I hadn't smelled up until I smelled Royal Mayfair. So it's fresh and clean. It's got a lovely gin and pine accord in the opening, and then in the heart there's a flash of rose. It's got some woods, but the note that really makes this fragrance for me is eucalyptus, which I feel really takes this fragrance to another level. Royal Mayfair is sweet, it's fruity, it's clean, it's classy. It hints at a vintage style DNA, but still manages to be perfectly timeless. Royal Mayfair is a real treat. As I said, it is a DNA that you will want to sample first. It might not be for you because it is a little bit different, so do sample it if you can. One of the best things about this fragrance is because it is less popular than some of the other Creeds, you can pick it up for a pretty good price. So I've got a 75ml bottle here, and I think I purchased it on Latino, and I think there was a discount code. So overall I paid around £85, I think, for this, which personally, for the quality of this fragrance, to have a Creed, to have a 75ml bottle, I think was a steal. On to number 3. Now, the only problem with this one is it's not quite as original as it claims to be. It is very similar to another Mont Blanc fragrance called Individuel, which is 2 years older than this one. It's original Santal. It's sweet, it's soft, it's cozy. I call this one a smart dumb reach in that it's so easy to grab and wear, but it's smart because it has the quality that you would associate with Creed fragrances. So it's got a creamy sandalwood, it hints at orange and cinnamon, and then it's sweetened with vanilla and tonka. It's so easy to wear, very mass appealing, extremely versatile. It's not a complex fragrance at all. It is quite linear, so it remains pretty much the same from start to finish. Its strength is in its simplicity. Sometimes less is more, and that is certainly the case for me with original Santal.
Join the Scent Geeks every Monday as we podcast about all things fragrance. You'll find us anywhere you can usually find a podcast. Links are in the description below this video. See you there, geeks.
Number 2 was released in 1987, and out of all the Creeds that I've smelled, this one reminds me most of a classic old school style cologne. So it's citrusy, it's got aromatic lavender. I am of course talking about the beauty that is Bois de Portugal. So there's a story associated with this fragrance that you may have heard before about a famous person who has this as their favourite and as their signature scent. And it is, of course, this guy, Mr. Smelly, who everybody knows is famous for loving Bois de Portugal. It was actually watching one of Dan's videos that really put this on my radar. So if it wasn't for Mr. Smelly, I would not own this. So thank you, Dan, because this is a beautiful fragrance and one of my favourite fragrances in my collection. Some people say Bois de Portugal has a bit of a grandaddish smell to them, and I think it's the lavender note that's doing that. Sometimes lavender can make people think of old-fashioned things or old-timey things, and I totally get that. Look, I get that. My wife said it reminded her of her grandparents' toilet, which is exactly what you want to hear from your wife when you've just applied your cologne. But hey ho, you know, we push on. What this reminds me of though is a classy, refined, well put together gentleman. Yes, it has old school sensibilities, no doubt about that. but it has that timeless appeal again that Creed fragrances can sometimes have. So I think it is still very wearable in modern times, and the quality here is just exactly what you would associate with Creed. It smells natural, it smells really well blended and well put together. It's a fantastic scent. It is said to be inspired by the countryside of Portugal. I've spent a lot of time in Portugal, and if I'm honest, I can't say that it immediately takes me back there. What I do know is it's a damn fine fragrance. I wonder if Frank Sinatra would have liked this one. Alright, here we are at number 1. This one was released in 2017. I loved it on release, but it's grown on me more and more since then. It has the versatility and masculine qualities of Aventus, but unlike its older brother, it doesn't come with the same baggage. Viking. For me, this is the perfect harmony of classic and contemporary. It opens with a fresh and invigorating mint. There's rose, there's smooth sandalwood. It perhaps has tenuous links with Vikings and what you might associate with Vikings, but I love this fragrance so much that I've created my own little bit of imagery, which, lucky you, I'm going to indulge you with right now. Okay, picture this. A Viking longboat is arriving on foreign shores. At the end of the boat stands a Viking, proudly surveying the coastline that will become his new home. He's full of confidence and energy and anticipation. He's ready. Before the boat gets to the shore, he dives off the boat into the icy cold water and he swims to shore. And as he strides out of the sea, the warm sun hits his icy cold skin and he just feels invigorated. He stands there looking at the cliffs and a smile crosses his face because he knows his journey is over and he's arrived. Well, when I wear Viking, I feel like I've arrived. Okay, so I'm laying it on a bit thick, but that's kind of how it makes me feel. I can buy into that imagery. I find it fresh and invigorating and exciting. And whilst I'm not conquering any foreign lands when I wear Viking, I feel like I can conquer the day. What I do know is that I'm really loving this at the moment, and I'm wearing it more than any other Creed in my collection. Viking is a classy, sophisticated fragrance that for me just works. So there we go, there's my top 5 Creed fragrances. That is also my current Creed collection. I'm hoping it will grow a little bit more. I know many of you out there love the House of Creed, so do let me know what your top 5 fragrances from the house are. Are they similar to mine or is it completely different? And if you're someone who is just getting into fragrances and you've never owned or you've never tried a Creed, I hope you found this video enlightening and entertaining and useful. And if you're not subscribed, then don't forget to click the subscribe button for more videos like this. I would love to have you along for the ride. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.